You know you're in deep when your patient, whom you're ethically forbidden to touch, is the one who knows exactly how to break your heart. Worse, he does it just by showing up and looking at you like you're the only person left in the world who hasn't already betrayed him. I met Elliot Sterling on a Wednesday morning I'll never forget, not because of the rain that drowned Manhattan in apocalyptic sheets, but because he walked in like a broken myth, soaked to the bone and yet radiating the kind of power that no amount of therapy could ever untangle. "I'm here because my lawyer said I need to seem functional," he said, tossing his coat across my chair without permission. That was our beginning. He wasn't like my usual patients, the Wall Street sleepless, the actors on the brink of burnout, the quietly suicidal high-functioning elites. No, Elliot didn't want to be fixed. He wanted to be seen. And God help me, I saw him. Elliot was the only son of Jonathan Sterling, media tycoon and CEO of Sterling Worldwide, a ruthless corporation rumored to devour everything in its path, including its own bloodline. Rumors of embezzlement, blackmail, and something darker swirled around the Sterling name like smoke. He hated his father. He hated the weight of the name. And he hated me, or so he claimed. "You're just like them," he spat during our third session, pretending to care. Just another suit who gets paid to nod. But I didn't nod. I watched him crack. He cried in my office for the first time 2 weeks later. Silent tears, jaw locked, hands clenched so tightly they left crescent moons in his palms. "Does it ever stop hurting?" he whispered. "No," I said, "but it can start meaning something." That was the day he stopped pretending he didn't care. I wish I could say I maintained distance, that I drew a professional line and held it like a soldier. But that would be a lie. Our conversations bled beyond the hour. His texts came after midnight. Dinner happened once, then again, and again, until I found myself memorizing the way he took his coffee, the way he looked away when he was about to tell the truth, the way he'd rather implode than be vulnerable in front of someone who might leave. But I wasn't supposed to be there to stay. I was supposed to help him stabilize before his father launched his next PR campaign, the rehabilitated Heir narrative that would save the Sterling brand. A rehab stint had failed. A suicide attempt had been scrubbed from the press. Now they needed him to be sane, or at least act like it. And I was the guy with the license to pretend that was possible. One night, Elliot showed up at my door, not my office, my home, drunk, furious, and shaking. "He made a deal with my mother," he said. "Said if I didn't play along, he'd cut her off too. She's got cancer, Theo. Stage 3. He's holding her life like a bargaining chip." He was breaking in front of me, and I had a choice. Shut the door or let him fall apart in my arms. I let him fall. We kissed. It was reckless. It was beautiful. It was the worst decision of my career. For 3 nights, we lived a lie that felt more like the truth than anything either of us had ever known. Then came the letter from the Board of Ethics. Someone reported me. I resigned before they could fire me. It wasn't just the end of my career, it felt like the end of everything. I told Elliot it was over, that I'd crossed a line and I had to live with it. He didn't argue. He just left. And for 3 months, silence. I saw him again on a rooftop in Midtown, at a fundraiser I didn't want to attend. He was in a tailored suit, champagne in hand, smiling for the cameras like the good son he was trained to be. But when our eyes met, the smile died. Later, in the shadows of the building's edge, he said only one thing. "You ruined me." "I ruined myself," I answered. He laughed, bitter, tired. "You were the only person I didn't have to pretend with, the only place I felt real. And now that's gone too." His voice cracked. I wanted to hold him, but I couldn't. "You're not broken," I said. "You're surviving." "I'm tired of surviving." The news came a month later. Jonathan Sterling was dead. Heart attack. Some claimed it was a cover-up. Others said Elliot had finally snapped. He hadn't. He'd inherited everything. Billions. Shares. Power. Silence. I didn't expect to hear from him again. And I didn't, not for a long while. It was a letter. Typed. Neat. Delivered by hand. Theo, you once asked if it ever stops hurting. You said no, but that it can start to mean something. I think I'm ready to find out what that something is. If you still want me, meet me at the lake house. You'll know the one. I drove 6 hours without packing a single thing. He was standing on the dock in a hoodie and bare feet, holding 2 mugs of coffee, steam rising into the cold air. I didn't speak. He didn't either. We just were. And for the first time, I knew love wasn't always about healing. Sometimes it was about witnessing the wounds and choosing to stay anyway. We weren't doctor and patient anymore. We were 2 men who found a place inside each other's chaos where it was finally safe to rest. And for the first time in either of our lives, that was enough. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.